Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to my channel. Before we dive into today's exciting lesson, please take a moment to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This small step ensures that you never miss an insightful Python tutorial and helps this community of learners grow. Every new subscriber gives me the motivation to keep creating simple and useful coding content for you. So don't wait, hit that subscribe button now and let's start coding. Now let's get started with our very first lesson, Python Arithmetic Operators. In this video we are going to explore how we can perform math in the Python programming language. If you have ever used a standard calculator, then congratulations, you already understand 90% of what we are about to cover today. Python simplifies math by using simple, intuitive symbols to execute all your calculations, from addition to more complex logic. However, this is Python we are talking about, so we are also going to look at a few extra tricks. These specific features are designed to make your coding experience even more straightforward and efficient. This lesson will be your go-to guide, covering all the essential math concepts and operators that you need as you begin your journey in learning to program. We will break everything down so that by the end of this video, you will be able to confidently apply these operators in your own projects. Get ready to find out how easily Python can turn code into calculations. Now, let's look at the 4 basic operators which serve as the fundamental building blocks for all mathematical operations in Python. You will recognize these symbols immediately because they work just like the ones we use in everyday life. First, we have addition, represented by the plus symbol, which simply adds two numbers together. Next is subtraction, which uses the minus sign to subtract the second value from the first. For multiplication, we use the asterisk symbol to multiply two numbers. Finally, we have division, which is represented by the /. It is important to remember that in Python, the division operator always returns a float value, even if the numbers divide perfectly. These 4 simple tools are everything you need to start performing basic calculations in your code. Moving forward, let's take a closer look at addition and subtraction in Python. The addition operator, represented by the plus sign, is used to add two values together. While we mostly use it for numbers like integers and floats, it is also powerful enough to work with strings. For example, if we have a variable a equal to 10 and b equal to 5, printing their sum gives us an output of 15. On the other hand, we have the subtraction operator, which uses the minus sign to subtract the second number from the first. Using our same variables, subtracting b from a results in an output of 5. These two operators are the foundation of basic arithmetic and are incredibly simple to implement in your code. Next, we have multiplication and division, which are equally straightforward in Python. For multiplication, we use the asterisk symbol to multiply values, and you will find that Python handles even very large numbers effortlessly. For instance, multiplying our variables results in an output of 50. Now, when it comes to division, you need to watch out for a specific behavior. The single / operator always returns a float, which means you will get a decimal result even if the numbers divide perfectly into a whole number. As you can see in the example, dividing our values gives an output of 2.0. That 0.0 at the end is Python's way of telling you the result is a float, which is an important detail to keep in mind for your calculations. Beyond basic arithmetic, Python provides 3 more powerful, extra, operators that are incredibly useful in real-world coding. First, we have floor division, represented by a double /, which divides numbers and rounds the result down to the nearest whole number. Second is the modulus operator, shown as a percentage sign, which is used to find the remainder of a division. Finally, we have the exponent operator, represented by double asterisks, which allows you to calculate powers such as squaring or cubing a number. These tools give you much more control and flexibility when handling complex mathematical logic in your programs. Now let's dive into 2 very specific and useful tools, floor division and modulus. Floor division, which uses a double /, divides two numbers and then chops off the decimal entirely to round down to the nearest whole number. As you can see in the example, when we divide 10 by 3 using floor division, the output is 3 because the decimal part is discarded. Next, we have the modulus operator, represented by the percentage sign, which returns only the remainder after a division is performed. In our example of 10 modulus 3, the result is 1 because that is what remains after dividing 10 by 3. This operator is particularly great for common tasks like checking if a number is even or odd, making it a powerful tool for your coding logic. Finally, we have the exponent operator, which is written as double asterisks in Python. This operator allows you to calculate powers instantly by raising a number to a specific value. You can think of it as multiplying a number by itself a certain amount of times. For example, if you want to calculate 10 squared, you simply write 10 double asterisks and 2, which gives you an output of 100. Similarly, raising 2 to the power of 8 results in 256. This is exactly the same as using the superscript notation in standard math, but it is much faster and more efficient to write in your code when you need to handle exponential growth or complex calculations. To wrap things up, let's go over some important rules to keep in mind when working with these operators. First, Python follows the standard order of operations, often known as PEMDAS or BODMAS. This means it calculates parentheses first, followed by exponents, then multiplication and division, and finally addition and subtraction. You can always use parentheses to manually control which part of your math runs first. Next, remember that the plus operator can also be used with strings to join them together, like combining hello and world into a single word. However, you cannot use the subtraction operator on strings. Finally, Python is very smart when it comes to mixing different types of numbers. If you add an integer and a float together, such as 10 and 5.5, Python will automatically convert the final result into a float to ensure the calculation is accurate. Keeping these simple rules in mind will help you avoid errors and write much better code. To wrap up this session, here is a pro tip on using shorthand operators to make your code more Pythonic. When you are building counters, for example tracking a game score or counting coins, using shorthand syntax is a great way to keep your code clean and readable. In the traditional long way, you might write score equals score plus 1 to increment a value. While this works perfectly fine, the Pythonic way allows you to combine the addition and assignment into a single step using the plus equals operator. Instead of repeating the variable name, you simply write score plus equals 1 or coins plus equals 5. This shortcut is not limited to just addition. It works with all the operators we have discussed, including subtraction, multiplication, and division. Using these shorthand tools is a simple change that will make your scripts look much more professional and easier for other developers to follow. Before we finish, let's take a quick recap of everything we have covered about Python arithmetic. At a glance, you should remember the basic 4 operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are the same symbols you find on any standard calculator, but always keep in mind that division in Python will always return a float. Next, we explored the extra operators, including floor division for rounding down, the modulus operator for finding the remainder, and the exponent operator for calculating powers. We also discussed the order of operations, where the PEMDAS rules apply to ensure your calculations are processed correctly. Remember that you can always use parentheses to maintain full control over that order. Finally, we looked at shorthand operators, which allow you to use a more compact syntax to write cleaner and shorter code. By mastering these core concepts, you now have a solid foundation for handling any mathematical task in your Python programs. That brings us to the end of our lesson on Python arithmetic operators. If you found this tutorial helpful and want to see more step-by-step coding guides, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps me create more quality content for all of you. If you have any questions about what we covered today, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.